All right. I am sick, obviously. If my voice doesn't sound like this. Um, I was given COVID by an idiot in my life, and I've been sick for a couple weeks, and I have some different content than I usually have. I'm really sad and depressed. My mother recently passed away just a little over a week ago. And I got a lot of other things going on in my life that are pretty cruel, and I'm sad about it. But if there's one thing that makes me happy, that's ghost stories. So I'm going to use my shitty voice to tell a shitty ghost story that matters to me. But like I've said before, the ghost stories thing for me was meant to be like something for my family, something to honor them, because there's a lot of these ghost stories in my family, and I thought by talking about these stories I would be keeping like people and certain aspects of my family history like alive. And my mom had some really good ghost stories and things like that, so I felt like it's also honoring her and my dad's side of the family too. But today I'm going to tell one that is something that happened to my older brother and I, and uh, and I think it's a simple one, but it's a good one. But yeah, the main thing today is I'm so fucking sad, and I'm just trying to find something to make me feel alive. So ghost stories make me feel somewhat alive. Um, and also, I don't know if my mom knew this story or not, but it, it might make her happy if I'm telling a ghost story. So I think she thought that me doing the podcast and making like TikToks and stuff was cool. I am going to try to start the podcast up again soon. To be honest, I'm just so sad that I'm having a hard time like functioning in my day to day and getting dressed, let alone being creative. But everybody's got something to say on TikTok. Like everyone has a story, a topic, and we're all just throwing content out, and just wherever it sticks is where it sticks. And I was like, why do I keep trying to put out all this orderly content? Like, I'll just be myself. Right now, I'm a fucking mess. So that's where we're at. Gonna tell a ghost story today. Let's go. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so this story is one that happened to my older brother and me. I was there. And it's a very simple ghost story. I don't even know if it was really a ghost, but it was scary to us. We were kids, and it's a good one. So I think it's a good one. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and just tell the story. I have to do something with my hands, so I'm just like destroying my AirPod. Um, so I was probably about 11 years old. And if I was 11, that makes, I'm going to use my fingers because of math. My brother's about 15, I guess. And we lived out in the country, and we lived in Tennessee, and we had to walk across this like hillside to go catch the bus in the morning. And I want to say we had to be out there at like 6:30 or something, but I just remember it always being dark and scary. And I kind of picked this background just because I thought the bird looked ominous, but anyway, this isn't really what it looked like. But so we were walking to the bus one morning, and there was this house that we would catch the bus in front of. And when we first moved in to like this part of the town, I would say neighborhood, but we lived in like the country. People lived in the house, but then they moved somewhere else and the house was empty. Some people bought it from like Michigan or something, and they just didn't come around very often. So the house was empty for a while, and we just always thought the house was creepy. You know how there's like I don't know if this happens for everyone, but there's like that neighborhood house and everybody's just like, that house is haunted. And like you don't even fucking know why. You're just like, this house is haunted. So we determined this house was haunted for no good reason. And my brother, we were standing out waiting for the bus. It was dark, foggy. And there was a light on in the house. And like my brother had been in the house because his friend had lived there So he knew like placement of windows and rooms, and he said it was the bathroom. And we were like, what's this person doing in here? And it was like there was like a head in the window. So we call this ghost story the head in the window. And there was just this head, and it was like shoulders up in the window. And there's just the light was on, so it was just their silhouette. And it just sat there. Like, and it felt like 10 years that we were waiting on the damn bus. And we were just like, what is that? Or who is that? And when you're standing out in the woods, like in the dark, waiting for the bus, we're the only kids out there. There's no houses around, just this house that we're looking at. And we were just like, someone's watching us. Like, this feels like someone is watching us from the window. They're not moving. So I'm gonna have to do part two. So I said to my brother, I'm like, what do they want? What does this person want? Why are they just staring at us? And my brother's like, I don't know why they're just staring at us, but like, don't move. And my brother was like being super dramatic. He was like, don't, I remember him being like, don't move. Just be really still until the bus gets here. So we sat there watching this head in the window for what felt like forever. And when the bus finally came, we got on the bus. And the head just kind of, oh, COVID. I can't breathe. Like, it's so bad. But anyway, the head just kind of like slid out of the window. So I don't know if that part's just the part we added on because we were kids and we thought it was more scary, or if that really happened. You know how like when you grow up and you think back about like childhood memories, you're like, did that really happen? I don't know. But I do remember the head in the window. I remember us standing there watching it, being scared, being like, don't move. And it kind of had like long hair, kind of like an old lady, like poofy hair, maybe like to here. And we could just see like shoulders up. And yeah, we convinced ourselves that this head just slid out of the way of the window. And my brother said that was the bathroom, and like the window would have been in the tub. Which, why are like in old houses are their windows like in the bathtub? It's so weird. Um but yeah, that's what we thought. Is we thought, why would this person like be standing in the bathtub watching us, right? So I don't know. I think about that a lot, and I wonder, was it just a shadow, like a plant in the window, and we thought it was a ghost? Or was it a ghost? Or was there just like someone broke in the house? Or was there someone visiting the house, the people who owned it maybe, and they were just standing there watching us? Like, what are these kids doing? Or was it all just our, you know, ghost loving kids being weird? But I was really weird during that time when I was a kid. There's another girl that I see on TikTok all the time who talks about the weird stuff that she did when she was a kid. And I need to find her and like stitch with her because we would be best friends. I was super weird as a kid. Like, I thought everything was haunted. I constantly had like a bad feeling or bad vibes, except I was a kid and I didn't know what to do with all these feelings. And looking back now, I'm like, maybe I was like psychic or something, you know? So imagine me being out there, this little weirdo who already thinks everything is haunted and bad things are going to happen all the time. I was like obsessed constantly. I was like, someone's going to die, something terrible is going to happen. I was just this anxious little girl. And now, you know, my neighbor's house is creepy. So maybe some of it was made up. I don't know, but scary nonetheless. That's your story today.